I dated this guy for about 6 weeks, and then I realized it was like wrong, and we ended it, and he was like, "Oh, but like I think that I would want to marry you," and all this stuff.
After you broke up with him?
Yeah, well, like he cried and stuff, and I was like, why is this so intense for everyone involved, especially for him? And then I asked him, like, did you want to marry me? Did you think we could get married? And he said yes. So he was just very emotional as a person. And the other day he called me up out of the blue and he said, "Oh, do you want to like get coffee?" And I
So
was
you
already
haven't seen him since you broke up?
What?
You haven't seen him since you broke up?
I had seen him like, yeah, well, I guess pretty much, yeah. We met up once after the breakup, but just to talk about the breakup.
Okay, so he was like upset when you saw him last time, and then he called you this time.
Yeah, like we had become friends again over text, but we hadn't seen each other.
Okay.
And so he called me and I said, "Oh," he said, "Yeah, I'm ready to be friends again." And I said, "Oh, why right now? Is there something that made you realize that?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Okay."
Okay.
So we got coffee that night and he was like, "Yeah, I met up with my ex today from college and we spent the day together and I think I'm in love with her. And on Friday, I'm going to tell her that I'm still in love with her. And I'm going to I might even follow her to Australia for her master's program if she says that she's like in love with me too." And I was like, okay, cool. That's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so then like we ended up, I was at a coffee shop on Friday and I was like, I could just come here and like I want to hear the story of what happened. So we just came by for like 15, 20 minutes. And he was like, "Yeah, it didn't work out with the girl on Friday, but on Thursday I had another date from Hinge with this girl. And I think it's like I really like her a lot." And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go out again on Saturday." And I'm just like, you move so fast. Like, who
So
are
he
you?
called you to tell you this. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the question?
So the question is, why is he like this? And does he still like me and he's trying to like impress me, or is he genuinely just like being my friend?
Okay. Okay. So this guy, he's not making any decisions, right? Like everything he does is like, oh, well, if you like me, then I'll like you. Then I'll move to Australia with you. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, hey, I like you, let's move to Sweden, he'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Like he's not like focusing on himself. Like he's not focusing on what he wants or like what he needs. What does he need in a partner? It's just like, oh, this person accepts me, therefore I love them. And I think it's it's reflecting back to you the part of you that's like that too. And it's not, it's not as bad, but I think like there is a part there, and I think the fact that he does it like so extreme is sort of like to point it out to you because you're like, oh, does he like me? Well, you don't like him, you know? Like, who gives a shit if he likes you or not? Like, you don't want to be with him. Like, what do you want? Like, you want someone who's nice and charming and funny and you're attracted to and like you have a list of things and he doesn't meet those things. Like, he doesn't make the list. So, like, somebody else liking you is like one thing on the list. Like, yes, you want the other person to like you, but like that's one quality. That's one quality out of like a million. And like he doesn't meet like 9,000 of the other qualities. So like who gives a shit if he likes you or not? You know what I mean? And so yeah, he's just like an extreme version of that that's sort of showing you like, hey, focus on what you want. Because, like what I like to do is like I'll make a list of everything I want, and sometimes like I'll do it multiple days, so I'll say like these are the things I want in a partner, and I write it all down. The next day, like, I think of some more, and then I think of like, oh, these are also the things I want in my apartment, and I write those things down. And then, so I'll do like a header, and then I'll like write all the stuff down, and like I do it over multiple days because sometimes, more things will come to me if I haven't done it in a long time. And also a good thing is if you think of things you don't want, like someone, like whatever qualities you didn't like about him, you can write those down too, and then next to it, write what you want instead. So it's like a good way, like he's a really good manifestation for you to like get really clear on what you do want, because he's showing you a lot of things that you don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to realize the things I do want from the things that I don't want.
Right. Yeah. And I think anytime that you have that question, like, oh, does this person like me? Like, it's fun. It can be fun. But if it gets to a point where it's not fun, or it's like annoying or stressful or confusing, then it's like, it's probably because there's lots of other qualities that they're not making. Like, you broke up with him, and then you're like, oh, does he like me? Like, who cares if he likes you? You broke up with him.
Well, I guess I was just wondering, like, what are his motives as a person? Like, why is he still in my life?
His motives are like, I'm gonna, he's like telling you about these girls to be like, oh, like, do you like me? Oh, do you still like me? Do you? Because if you say I like you, actually take me back, then he'll be like, okay, sure. Like, he doesn't, like, he just wants approval, and he's not actually, like, I doubt he's made a list of everything he wants. He's probably like, okay, I want someone who's nice and has hair and is female. Like, oh, like, you fit the bill. Like,
yeah, gosh.
And I feel like it's just a better quality. Like, it's better if you focus on what you want and you look for those things. But also, like, if somebody else is really clear on what they want, then it's way more flattering, because it's not just like, oh, I want these like 50 people and like you're okay also. It's like, oh my god, like, you're, you watch like that video, you should watch this video of Stephen Colbert talking about meeting his wife. Have you seen that?
No.
It's so sweet. Yeah, you should. So you want someone like that feels like that about you, where it's like, oh, this is the woman for me, and that's it. So I mean, I don't know, like, maybe you're not looking to get married right now, but like, whatever you're looking for, like, you gotta decide.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh man.